Congratulations up there in Saskatchewan for those Rough Riders. Won the CFL Grey Cup 25-17 over Montreal. Big one for you guys. And surprisingly fun. Fortunately, I've been sharing clips, pieces. Pretty good football. There, I said it. It really was enjoyable. CBI enforces full capital adequacy compliance across all banks. I wonder what they're preparing for, Greg. Is it full integration into the global banking system? Is it ascension to the World Trade Organization? Is it new and improved values for their currency? Or is it all three? Or even some extra things? It's interesting timing for it to all be coming together at one time. Coincidence or a plan? Flight level. Yeah, it's AI. It's been around for a while. Oh no, CRD said yesterday was my dad's birthday. Unfortunately, we lost him last Sunday, a week before it. CRD. Tough times. Too many folks losing folks. Prayers. Hoping to see a gold shirt. I hope to be able to wear one soon. It is back and forth. Kona Dude's birthday, Catherine's birthday. Patriot Hero. Depending on which currency, I'd take 50 cents. In a heartbeat. Charred Cruz. I do not expect any delays in seating a parliament is going to slow things. Yeah, can't see where it would affect. I'm not certain how he fits with fundamentals at this point because he's already put in most of the changes or the overwhelming majority of the changes we were told to look for in Iraq. So I really don't think that matters. Would it be a bonus if he were sat for security reasons, all those things quickly? Sure. But hey, he is still the acting prime minister. So no, do I think it's going to? I don't think it's going to. Heck, for that matter, it'd probably guarantee him that position. Rosie, that's what I keep waiting for with you Twitch folks, your ads that you get forced in the first 10 minutes. Dink, what's with the penny being canceled? Cost 2.3 cents. Wait, actually, I think it's up now. I think it's like 3.2 cents to make a penny. We just have to reinstate our own pennies and our own silver, our own nickel, our own. Yeah, I could see a way out of all of this. See, in your opinion, ISO going to affect? And I do not think so, Chris. Guns and Guitars. A lot of people do think there is, and it goes into effect, in 5 days? So if they're right, be great. I don't think they're right, but they could be. Jason, no more bond news since Saturday. Zero, zilch, nada, not even a check back from any source. Not to be, that is very, 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 very normal and typical for Sundays, not to hear a thing from Friday or late Friday until sometime on Tuesday. Not too worried about that one. Yes, I do love Penny, my cat. Mm-hmm. Oh, Jabril. Wouldn't be any fun to if you didn't get suspended from Instagram. Shit. I don't think we're in limbo. I think we're in the doldrums of news before we finish this thing. That's what I think. Like to remind everybody, we don't know the timing. We're basing it off of news, progress, financial, fundamentals, and rumors. I want a really, really, really good Thanksgiving. Do you think all change will be something of the past? No, not yet. I don't think we're ready yet for that. Don't think we're ready for that yet. Ha ha. Bink. A penny for your thoughts makes no sense. My 2 cents worth makes no sense. That's September. I'm permanently banned and deleted from Facebook. We should get like badges of honor that you get to wear, like, your military honors. Paul, we do have some interesting takes on Venezuela today. Here's my opinion. I'm thinking Jeffrey Epstein will be the first arrest. I think he's hiding in Venezuela. I got some thoughts on that one. Yes, checked in with Bob early in the morning after his mom had passed. Prayers for Bob Locke, his mother. I believe she was 92, passed very peacefully. Normal routine, watched her shows, etc. Went to bed. Always tough when you lose a force of nature like that, but a very good, full life, a comfortable passing as she went to hang out with her maker. So prayers for the Locke family. I think some places have already been rounding up on penny. A lot of places have been doing that because of keeping up with them. I haven't had a Larry update in a while. With my harp and song, not as salty. I'm not quite as salty today, too. I'm just cooked physically, mentally, emotionally. Need a vacation. I'm going to take a couple days next month. Yeah, Larry's back was hurting, Catherine, and he has been needing to pay extra attention and help take care of his wife. So he's just been very busy. He occasionally will sound off and chime in. Ooh, boy, I'm going to forget things, right? In a recent clinical trial this year, women who took 2.5 grams of collagen peptides daily for 8 weeks saw an average of 25% reduction in eye wrinkle depth, 9% improvement in skin elasticity, 29% book in skin hydration, proving collagen can visibly strengthen and rejuvenate skin from within. That's why I use today's sponsor, BioTrust's Ageless Multi Collagen. Obsessed with the results that it's given my skin. BioTrust Ageless Multi Collagen helps supercharge my skin health using 5 premium types of collagen needed to help reduce wrinkles. Notice smoother skin, more elasticity, more hydration, fewer fine lines, and a youthful glow. Plus, it also helps improve my joint health, bone strength, and connective tissues on top of my skin health. For limited time, you can grab a bag of BioTrust Ageless Multi Collagen for 51% off at healthwithmarkz.com. Plus, you'll also receive free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life, a free ebook entitled The 14 Foods for Amazing Skin, 60-day satisfaction guarantee, and free express shipping with your order. You can find that at healthwithmarkz.com to get that deal. It's also in the description in YouTube and on Rumble. Ellen, I have not found anybody that, or at least anybody connected or has spoken with anybody at a what should I guess I should say, a upper level or bigger level that thinks that HOAs are going to be abolished. Those are things you willingly and knowingly agreed to when you purchase property, or perhaps the person who bought it, if you're renting and there's an HOA. Not what people want to hear, but I do not think don't think you're getting rid of them. Be nice to get rid of them, but I don't think you're getting rid of them. Mark, how do you feel about DJT going off on MTG? Things are just weird. Things are weird, and I think that's a fight he will lose. But I also think right now it was for show. And I'll explain a little more on that in just a few minutes. Sabic with some humor. You know you're getting old when a recliner and a heating pad is your idea of a hot date. It's kind of my idea of a hot date now. I'm going to embrace it. See, good morning, all here on let's see, US F-35s to Saudi Arabia for their signing of the Abraham Accords, another win. Mm, Guys, when I miss a question, it is not easy to scroll back and find it. When you guys ask me to reference one above, it'd probably be easier if you see one for you guys to copy and repaste or repost it. It'd be easier for me to see it. Don't irritate old people. The older we get, the less life in prison as a deterrent. I'm with you, Tip. I'm not a fan of HOAs. Let's see. Watch. There's a. Oh, wait. No, that's not what I meant to look at. What was I going to look at? Yeah, Hobbs. Reportedly, MTJ supported Kanye over Trump in 24. I would be stunned at that one because the number of her public appearances trying to get people to vote for Donald Trump. So that one would stun me because everything that I saw would challenge that. But who knows? The amount of crap and conspiracy theories and purposely planted stuff. Guys, remember that. We are in a psyop war. We have intentionally planted things to divide your support. Could some of them be true? Absolutely. Could a lot of them be planted to affect your thoughts and your opinions? Anything? Anybody? You already know a whole lot was during the Biden administration. You already know that they edited things for a certain way. You know that they caused internal chaos on purpose. You've seen the playbook for the globalists and the elites and for the former communists, the Soviet Union, before their removal in the 90s. You know how they play. You know the plan of the game. So when you look at information, really, really, truly think about it. Think about the hows, the whys, what actually makes sense. This is a day and time where it'd be nice if everybody was sporting a 120 IQ or above and had critical thinking skills, because they are taking advantage of the masses. Rashane, MTG is being used to point out how Israel controls our government. Just my opinion, though. Hey, I think we're all deserving of one. See, Iraq dissolved parliament. Do you think this delays things? No, that is a normal function. They do it every time after their election since 2000. It is the way they handle it. The government becomes a caretaking government rather than let them do drastic things on the way out the door because they're pissed about re-election. Don't let that one shake you at all. That is not unusual. That is normal operating procedure. Oh, Patriot, you may have something going on here. Patriot said it's not that the masses are stupid, they're buried in trying to survive. Husband turned 60. Oh, guys, I am way back on timing. I am so sorry. Let's get to it. I am going to miss all new comments for the next 10, 15 minutes. So just shelve them. I will not see them. Exclusive, the date of the announcement of the final results of the elections and the ratification of them by the federal court. The Iraqi Election Commission revealed on Monday the date of the announcement. Today, between 5 and 6 p.m. Iraq time, they are going to give us the final election results. This means like certified by court, done. Boy, how long does it take us here in the U.S.? I think California's still counting 2024. No, they probably finished counting when people stopped asking questions and never took time to certify, is my guess, but who knows? Much faster than the U.S., but now we can start moving forward. Maliki, pushing, pulling, you are going to see a ton of this, just like you see in the United States. You're going to see a ton of these opinion pieces. Remember, they're opinion pieces. Maliki begins meeting with political blocs, call for the formation of a strong government. They are all pushing, pulling with their own rhetoric, everybody trying to make themselves look better during this process, trying to get as much power as they can or weaken the other as much as they can. This is just normal. Watch it roll through. Government advisor. Now, here's a couple that are noteworthy and worth paying attention to. Government advisor amendment to the trade agency law supports Iraq's ascension to the World Trade Organization. Sudani supports Iraq's requirements for the accession to the World Trade Organization with a new law. That new law, trade agency law, pretty cool. It is, or similar to the antitrust laws, etc., during the Teddy Roosevelt days for the U.S., where they are passing laws to block out somebody unfairly cornering and to protect the average citizen from monopolies and large businesses. And they are passing that as they are trying to wrap up anything possible to keep them from the World Trade Organization ascension and moving forward. Very positive on those laws. And another check in the checklist for what they need to do to change their value. Some of these I just found very interesting. Iraq maintains its position among the least expensive Arab countries in terms of gasoline prices. Price of gasoline in Iraq reached 60.649 or 64.9, aka 65 cents a liter. What do you guys pay a liter? I'm curious. If you folks in the U.S. are trying to figure out how to do that, you would simply take that and multiply it by 4. Not exact, but close enough for argument's sake. There are 4 liters in each gallon of gas. I know it's not exact, but it's daggone close. So what would that be? $2.60 a gallon in U.S. prices. But now look at some of the other prices from around the world. One made no sense to me. Supposedly Jordan was the most expensive with $1.51. $1.51 per gallon. So twice what Iraq costs, over twice what Iraq costs. Morocco, Syria, Tanzania, some of these that are more interesting, I think. Saudi Arabia, 62 cents a liter. Qatar, 55 cents. Bahrain, 57 or 53, excuse me. Kuwait, 34 cents a gallon. Well, excuse me, a liter. That would make it $1.40 a gallon. The cheapest, Libya, at roughly 3 cents a liter. Right. 12 cents a gallon. See, that's the bonus when the country and they own the supply. If they're not trying to rape their people, when they control the pumping, the refining, you really can massively cut those prices. Infidel with the math, 3.7 liters. About $4 in Eastern Washington. Gary, I've questioned a lot of that for some time. Gary, with the question, guys, we have to acknowledge these things and think them through, or they will fester. At what time do we start believing the white hats in some instances are just as bad as the black hats? Gary, I'm beginning to believe we need to support the gray hats. Let's see. I don't know where DL tab is. 3.785, 369 in Pittsburgh. Whoa, 299 to 359 in Michigan. Nearly $10 for a gallon in Europe if you do the math and convert it. Don, I appreciate you check in. How are things in mighty Sweden? Think you're still there. Getting the don't like hats. 218 in Texas, 279 in Mass. All right, let's keep going. Oh, yeah, Tahoe, we citizens must hold our leaders accountable. Absolutely. Stephen, I still think the 2008 Zim will be. Ohio, 319, 325 at the Costco in Bend, Oregon, 289. Oh, it's ripping 395 Montana. That's pricey. Cambria County, Pennsylvania, 339, 271, Central Kentucky. I remember when Pennsylvania used to have some of the cheapest gas prices in the country. Of course, they did have Quaker State wells. I think there's like 1,200 of them right now capped off, not even producing. And refineries. They need to unmothball. They got one that's still mothballed. Waiting for government for permits to upgrade. No, per government, you gotta love them. Close to 5 gallons in the Philippines, 495 in California. Drill baby drill. 323 Lumberton, Texas. No, 233. Wow. Boise, Idaho, 340. Thank you all for chiming in on your thoughts. Roy Hobbs, my thoughts of Sudani appearing on the cover of Newsweek. I think it's their way of saying we told you, but we didn't tell you. For all the ones that are going to be really mad when they are told that everybody told them it wasn't happening and it does happen, they're going to be, yeah, but you told me this. Like, look, weren't you reading all the articles? I think that's why you're seeing that. All right, we did that one. That one, some of these guys are just interesting to me. They don't really affect the RV. They are more interesting things about what's going on around the world. And we do know that Sudani is an Erbil. This article, of course, yesterday, Sudanese or Sudani to visit Erbil tomorrow, Monday. So Sudani is in Erbil, and they're meeting, working through with the different political political blocks and parties there, discussing salaries, education, all those HCL things between the Erbil region and Baghdad, having, deep discussions on them, not in between, not intermediaries. They're sitting down and talking about those important things. The Kurdish region, because of their turnout in this last election, are going to have a lot more influence on the government for the next number of years in Iraq. And I think this is very positive because when he's visiting that, he is working on the HCL issues. I think this is important as we move forward. And he is there in person, pounding them out. This is one I want to get you all's take on, the Iraqi Infrastructure Fund. When you read about this fund, it has made some press in Iraq. I am hoping some of you guys will take the time to research. I do not know how legitimate, how not legitimate, but they are helping to fund projects from $300 million to $1 billion. And they're not looking for money back. It's all in Iraq. And when the infrastructure is done, it goes to government. This is just interesting. LG lady, I have no idea why, unless you were spamming it over and over, and then that would be why. So I do not know the legitimacy of this, but when you read it, you read about the money being put up, etc., it really sounds like a Nasera Jacera thing, or humanitarian funds are being put into place. That's when I was reading, I was like, this is too much like projects and I don't know, Germain funds, Dubai funds, all the things we've been hearing about for years, where they can just put up the money. You don't have to pay it back. You get these things done, and then it goes to the people or AK or the government. I found it very interesting. Like, where's this money coming from? They're talking about multiple projects, 300 million to 1 billion. Find it very, very interesting. Music, they're not doing that all at 1310. Frank's contacts report the float's finished. I very much think the float is ready to rip. Any reason Iraq's not in the World Trade Organization yet? Well, we know they have completed all of their requirements. We have read multiple documents on that one now. Even one from actually a couple different circulars or updates from the World Trade Organization and from the UN. We had one piece from the UN over a year ago where it was discussing the countries that were meeting on the sidelines at the UN to discuss how Iraq had finished all of its requirements. Somebody from Saudi Arabia was making the comment how they had finished all of their requirements. I think it is optics and timing. I think they are holding it to go at or around the same time as value changes. All right, let's take off the news banner. Michael, people fail to research. Many have not even looked at the 1991 Kuwait revalue and how it dropped super low just before it did. No, they don't. Or the news that came out talking about how it was going to could drop even more, how they weren't ready. I know it's painful. The timing seems like forever because it's watched in the watch pot, but it is happening pretty much exactly as expected, with press almost exactly as expected. Casey, back up. We started late today. RV News has started at 15 minutes after today. Just look for the news banner. All right, now on to other fun stuff. We do have Wade and Gina, the water folks, after all of the news for anybody that would like to stick around. They are awfully fun and very educational. Trump administration to root out over 500,000 SNAP fraudsters by forcing all recipients to reapply. Fraud is so rampant. This article coming from the Western Journal. Now, we did see a number of reports. We do know that most blue states blocked sharing any of the information. So the information that is taken is only from a handful of states, not like a majority, not like even half. Fraud is so rampant in the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program that Agricultural Secretary Brooke Rollins wants to have all SNAP recipients apply again. While leftist groups are demanding SNAP benefits flow during the shutdown, Rollins noted in recent comments on the Ingram angle, fraud is rampant. More than 500,000 people, and this is just a few states that were willing to share their information. She said more than 500,000 people were found to have been taking SNAP benefits twice, in a limited response from states that shared data with the USDA. The USDA learned that 186,000 deceased men and women and children in this country are receiving a check. Somebody's cashing them. Not all of them, most of them. Let's keep running. It is, when you look at the level of fraud, let's see, Rollins noted that 120 people were arrested for SNAP fraud recently in Ohio after an investigation that took 11 months and tracked 17,000 illegal transactions that took place using SNAP benefits, the Post noted. Rampant fraud, which means they can't afford to give the people that truly need it as much. If they cut the numbers to those that truly needed it, that deserved it, that were here legally and all those things, I know they say there's zero fraud. I don't know how many more studies they need. I don't know how much more evidence they need to show that that's inaccurate, but sometimes you can show them, you can lead a horse to water, you can't make them drink. Moral of the story, if you get rid of all the fraud, then you can afford to pay the folks that need it more. Can I tell you how many people that truly need it would like to have more? Or the people that can't get it that actually truly need it? I'm a big fan of this plan. Force them to reapply and get rid of all the fraud. They are finding the fraud now because they have better computer tools and systems than they've ever had. And they now have a system that will allow everybody to reapply very quickly. I know, oh my God, they're going to have to fill out a one-page piece of paper again. And they shouldn't have to do that for months. Consider it the cost of the free stuff, because nothing is free except for God's love. Let's see, Drill Man, whenever we get to meet, I have to tell you about my car. I had to put a new engine in her. Oh, duh. Always upgrade when you get a chance. Yeah, I think I like that one even better. Linda Sway, you can lead a man to knowledge, but you can't make him think. Reading a few of these. I'm going to get back to it. I see Laird's son, Gordon, celebrating a birthday. Fraud hurts everyone. Yes, it does. You can throw a horse in water, that'll make him swim. Okay, some of the other interesting articles out there, and some of them far more important that are coming up. These are just some that I thought interesting. Visualizing the world's 111 trillion in government debt in one giant chart. Well, you know the U.S. is leading. like in a big way. 34.5% is our share of global debt value. So we're winning, guys. I mean, we're really winning. We are the most indebted, period. To the tune, each person in our country in debt $38,269.70. 125% of our GDP. China coming in second. Each Chinese individual, $18,680.08. Guys, I know it's like, whoa, at least they're not in as debt in the U.S. Here's the difference, though. U.S. income per person or per household exponentially higher than in China. So when you look at it as a percentage of income, Chinese are in much worse shape individually. Japan, 9,826. Now, some of these guys, they got pretty much no debt. Dear U.S. government, could we just pay the 38,000 and now there's no longer any debt for us and we can save all interest payments on our taxes since you will have paid it? Could you do that? I think you might be surprised by how many Americans and American families stepped forward and paid the bill so that they could save every year. They would save far more over probably a 10-year period on their taxes. Wait, break this down. What did Lily have to share? Illegal sex trafficking club in San Antonio, Texas, raided, yielding arrest of 200 illegal alien criminals. Bids of Iraq revalue soon without the RV of other countries. We'll be able to exchange our NAR. Oh, sure. Probably easier. You just have to pay taxes if that's how it happens. I don't expect that in any way, but that's what thinking it through would mean. So I just found this one interesting. Looking at the debt, the unsustainability of it, just shows you how bad a shape we're in. Another one of these, visualizing how the cost of living differs around the world. They base it on what it would cost to live in New York, and then they break down the rest of the areas based on that. Yes, the U.S. is expensive. Much of the world not as expensive. So the U.S., Canada, Europe, and Australia leading the charge in the most expensive places to live. Just thought it was interesting to look at the differences and how we live around the world and the cost for anybody that might want to dive in. All right, those were the ones that were really more interesting than anything to me. And in surprise reversal, Trump now supports the GOP release of Epstein files. Less than 24 hours, days after President Donald Trump called MTG a traitor, Mock Thomas Massey has now said, just vote for it. Release them all. I'm urging all Republicans to vote to release them. We have nothing to hide. Democrats have a lot to hide. Just let it rip. Why that reversal suddenly after having the fight? MTG bringing it up. Is this like putting all eyes on it to get more people, especially more Democrats, et cetera, to vote for it? Or perhaps he's like, yeah, release it now because we no longer need it. We no longer need that leverage. We've taken care of whatever those bad guys were. Whatever elements, whether it is in Mossad, the CIA, our politicians, I don't know. We don't know where that is. Perhaps he was delaying while they were using that leverage to get what they needed to move things forward. I don't know, but I am curious as to you all's thoughts on this one. As I look at it, it definitely makes me go, this sudden reversal and push, which means it is going to pass. It almost passed without a lot of Republican support. But now we're talking like overwhelming. Now they did start or said they have started a couple of investigations, which means some of it might be protected. But specifically, it would be in reference to like Bill Clinton, Summers, and a few other left side on this one. So it should allow for the overwhelming majority to still come out either way. I think we have watched a game play out, and it's about to be very, very clear as to why we went through that. I'm with you. Hold them all accountable. Alma says Trump loves a game. He already knows the winner. That's the question here. Yeah, Linda, no, but you got to weigh and measure it. I know it doesn't feel good. I know it's not fun. Financial strains heavy for middle and lower class income families. It feels callous and cruel. Costs are not going down. but they're not going up as quickly as they were before. I know that seems like a minimal salve, but if Trump had not won, we would still have the runaway spending, or worse than the runaway spending that we have now. And our inflation rates would still be much higher. In other words, you would be in a much worse position. So it's like, while it's not as much as we wanted, is it better than the alternative? I know that sounds like, do you want a crap slider or a crap Big Mac? I'm watching a few of these before I keep going forward. Control change. It's gradual, unfortunately. Okay, where are we going on this one? They did get into a lot, and Trump was like, just go ahead and do this. We need to focus on everything that we're doing right. We need to focus on affordability. We need to focus on the American family and rebuilding the domestic economy and domestic stability. So we need to just go ahead, vote, get this Epstein out of the way, and let's focus on dinner table politics is what he is pushing for. Beginning of a revolution. Populist revolt shocks Mexico. Has anybody been watching the footage out of Mexico this weekend? Chaos erupted in front of Mexico's National Palace in Mexico City on Saturday after anti-corruption protests turned violent following the recent cartel murder of European Mayor Carlos Manzo. Protesters are furious with leftist President Claudia Sheinbaum, while the government blames right-wing business interests for stoking the unrest. Reuters reports 120 people and 100 police officers injured outside the National Palace when a large group of anti-government protesters led by Gen Zers clashed with Sheinbaum security forces. So young people outraged at the government and the government protecting the corrupt pretty much stormed the palace, tearing down concrete barriers, painting, Punta Julia, basically calling the president of Mexico, and the language may be tough for some of you folks, calling her a Jewish whore, or a whore for Israel, in a nutshell. That's why I was trying to warn you about that language. They're calling her out for very biased politics, her World Economic Forum politics, but this is the young people standing up to fight corruption and foreign influence. I know a lot of people are worried about this generation. I personally think the Gen Zers are in better shape than the millennials, and probably in better shape than the Xers to help move the world more towards common sense and the center. They're not as impressed with political parties. It's really, to them, it's about, well, what does it mean to us? Meaning as individuals, people, etc. So Mexicans fed up. Just look all over the world, people fed up with left-wing governments that are now standing up. We're on the cusp of either really ugly civil wars around the country, around the world, or a whole new age of common sense, transparency in politics, and fiscal sense. We are on the cusp. Question is which way does it go? I think it's going to the positive side. Could a small Venezuelan island be the real reason behind the U.S. military's Caribbean buildup? This was a very interesting story yesterday. Recent reporting highlights a sustained U.S. military buildup across the Caribbean, coinciding with briefings President Trump, in which senior Pentagon officials outlined potential operational scenarios against Venezuela. This activity has raised questions among observers and about regime change operations. Well, it appears one potential cause, I think this is an important one and could have some meat on the bones. One potential cause for the U.S. military buildup goes beyond drug smuggling, linking Venezuela cartels and Iranian-backed groups like Hezbollah. But drug smuggling may not be the full story of the real motivation. Lewis, who did this story, began the thread. He said a far more concerning pattern is emerging. Here's how a small Venezuelan island, Isla de Margarita, Iranian-backed terrorist groups and U.S. housing may all connect with a sophisticated people transportation network into the United States. So they were training people on this island, training Iranian government and military was coming in and training militant folks from Venezuela to become guerrilla fighters, put them in, munitions experts, terrorist training camp on this island to train Venezuelans and to train cartel members, Venezuelan cartel members on logistics, etc., terrorism, bombs, and they've been moving things to the U.S. So could these same drug boats move terrorists into the United States, drop them off along with the bales of cocaine? It would make a lot more sense. I mean, I would like to think that the smuggling boats for methamphetamines, cocaine, opiates, etc. I would like to think that that would be enough of a reason, but I don't think it is. I think we are now seeing the reason why, because we saw Trump go after Iranian nuclear sites, and now this. I think this person's onto something. It does make sense to me that they are still trying to minimize any Iranian influence and what it could mean, because that would mean they are putting all kind of people into the U.S., inserting them for something ugly, maybe a day of terror. And then they get into the number of homes from Venezuelan, Chinese, and Iranian entities and straw companies, different corporations that they set up in border areas from Florida all up and through Texas, California, etc., along the border, which would make it very logistically easier to bring in violent people and violent things to do violent things in the United States. So I'm finding this very interesting, and I think they may be onto something. No Congress approval for the bonus for TSA. Maria, I think they should give them a bonus for those that showed up. Very much believe it. They showed up without a paycheck, but they care about the people. All right, I need to sing happy birthday, and we need to let Wade and Gina take over. Kona Dude, Catherine, Gordon, I'm sure there or others. See, France just showed up in Iraq. Does that put France has been back and forth with them for some time now? I think it's very positive, the number of European countries, Western countries, just countries from around the world, because China's got a heavy influence. Luke Oil from Russia has a heavy influence. The whole world has a stake in Iraq's value changing. So they tell me it's your birthday. Well, happy birthday, darling. May you live, may you love, may all your dreams come true. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. To all those celebrating happy birthday, I'm going to hang out and chat while we turn Wade and Gina loose. The moose is on the loose.
We're on the loose. Good morning, man. Good morning, everybody. Happy birthday to all. And Mark, of course, thank you so much for having us join you this morning. It's kind of funny. I'm sitting here watching, and I have an audience in my house. We have two cats, and they're both sitting across from us going, what are you guys doing this morning?
In the chairs.
Because we've set it all up, and they're sitting in chairs. And it's too funny. But anyways, good morning, guys. My name is Wade Holder. I'm the owner of My Free Water Store, along with my wife, Gina. And we just want to say good morning to each and every one of you. And thank you for the opportunity to come to your homes today. And let's talk about water. We want to talk about water because I happen to believe it's the most crucial thing on earth. In fact, without water, nothing on earth exists. I mean, no life exists. I say that. And I mean, from plants to it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's us or plants or anything. So many years ago, a doctor said to me, Wade, you have cancer? I'm like, oh, no, doc. We're not doing this deal. I was 50 years old, that whole 50 everything. And I said, I'm going to do a little research, right? So I went home and got onto Dr. Google. By the way, I trusted that a lot more 15 years ago than I do today, of course. But so I jumped on Dr. Google and I started doing research, and I learned about an acid alkaline balance in our body. And in that, it started leading me down a path of trying to figure out how to get my body into an alkaline state so that disease cannot thrive. As a matter of fact, if you can get your body into an alkaline state, the body can repair itself. And so that started our journey. So 15 years ago, we started getting into water. And of course, back then I drank, Aquafina, and I would drink some tap water. Then my wife joined me later in that.
Much later, yes, I wasn't on board.
In that journey, because she was not on board. She's like, "Are you crazy? You bringing home this device that changes water? Water's water." And so many of our friends, many of you guys believe water's water. And so here today, we're going to just talk to you about some different waters. We're going to show you some differences, and we'll do it fairly quick. We haven't done a demonstration like this in quite a long time. And so we're going to just kind of go through. Now, Gina has already poured these different liquids, these different waters into cups, but I want Gina to say good morning to you guys. I've kind of
it's okay. Good morning, everybody. So we have some various liquids that we're going to do. We're going to do a couple tests on today, right?
Right.
First, we're going to show you how ORP works.
Oxidation reduction potential. Okay, so things either oxidize the body or they're antioxidants in the body. And we have many other partners in this that are on the show that bring you ways to create antioxidants in the body. They talk about that. But I will tell you, nothing gets in the body without water. Nothing. So I don't care what you're taking, what you're seeking, what you're trying to do. There's no supplement that doesn't move without water. There's no food that doesn't move without water. Everything moves with water. And so that's the reason why, for me, I believe this is the most powerful item on earth, period. And of course, salt. Salt is another really big item, guys. If you don't understand salt does not cause high blood pressure. No, those are all misnomers. Salt in its pure form, okay, meaning Doug or mined salt, is absolutely spectacular for the body. Sodium is an issue, and that's what you get when you go to certain brands where you just pour out that white bleached out salt. So be careful. So we're going to start right off, guys, by talking about what's an antioxidant and what's an oxidizer. What is an antioxidant? Antioxidants in the body is what helps keep us younger longer. That's what helps restore, repair, and slow down or even reverse an aging process. You get a banana in the store, it's nice and yellow. Through oxidation, it continues to work on browning, right? It goes down. If you slice an apple open, you see that if you set it on your counter, leave it out, it will turn brown. That's oxidation. Those
are good analogies, because that's us. That's bananas and apples. That represents what happens to us.
That's what I was going to say. And so for the human body, oxidation is the wrinkle in our skin. It's the eyes losing sight. When I say losing sight, I mean, just getting weaker and weaker with time. Do you know that when we're first born, okay, when a baby is first born, we're like 90% water. And in today's society, a person dies in the 70s or 80s. I mean, and that's very typical. I plan on living a lot longer than that, but they die in their 80s. Do you know that the average man is about 55% hydration? So think about that. Correlation is death comes with dehydration. Everything, right? So dehydration causes us to be like a raisin. Like
we're
grapes when we're born, we're nice and plump.
Is a failure.
Yeah, well, that's it. That's right.
55%, if you're in a grade, is failing.
That's right.
So we're failing.
And so there's ways for that to work. So a couple different things. So here's what's awesome. The water we're going to test for you today. We're going to show you what's an antioxidant. We're going to show you what's an oxidizer, what causes oxidation in the body. So for many of you that drink soda, we already know that soda's terrible. So I don't even have it in the lineup today because we all know soda's terrible. We can guess all we want, right? But there's really no no second guessing that. Okay, so what causes oxidation? One of the first things that I'm going to try and show you here today, and me and Gina work together, is this is 2.5 acid. Ooh, look at that. She's got a step.
I gotta get a little
She's got a little step stool. Okay. Oxidation is caused through a positive electrical charge in our body.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but
yeah, I hope you guys can see that. But that is, what is it? Positive what? What's the number, honey?
this number is positive 1135.
Positive 1135. Okay. Now the reason why I'm showing you that is because this 2.5 water kills every germ, virus, and bacteria known to man in 30 seconds or less. And our machine produces that water. So we can use that for disinfecting, for killing germs, viruses, bacteria, for cleaning our household. In fact, we clean our house completely chemical free. We use water. Okay, so
I don't know if you can see this,
the number,
but this is negative 800,
Okay.
823.
Okay, excellent. So this is Kangen water. This is the water that the machine's producing for drinking. Now, let's look and see. By the way, that's an antioxidant, huge antioxidant.
Wow, this went like
negative.
immediately. Positive 367.
Wow, positive 360.
like
if you guys can see it, then that's cool.
367
Yeah.
positive.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay, let's go back to a negative. I want to give every one of these a chance. By the way, this was a Soleil. That's a number of people like
so
Soleil.
we're trying to look, as a society, we're looking for something that flavors our water. So we're going to these Soleil and all these little flavored sparkling waters, which we're finding is not so good.
Right.
Okay. And then a lot of us are doing distilled.
Yeah, no.
Distilled water is the big deal these days. Everybody thinks distilling is the way to go, which
Distilled and RO, guys. By the way, RO and distilled are the same, okay, except for distilled removes cis and reverse osmosis does not. Now, so here's a problem. Do you know that reverse osmosis and distilled water removes all minerals from the water? So it can't actually add to life. In fact, nothing can live in it. That's the reason why it's really good for hospitals, but it's not good for us. Because
it
life,
is
look at that.
positive 380 almost.
Wow, 380 millivolts, meaning positive. Oh, by the way, just for your information, cancer and decay and such begins in the body at positive 35. Okay, positive 35. So back to
380, that's pretty huge.
That's more than 10 times what it takes to turn the body back to Earth. Okay, so now let's look at
LaCroix is one of those fancy little sparkling waters that so many people drink because it says it has 0 calories. Well, if you're struggling with your weight and you don't want any calories, but 0 sweeteners, 0 calories, I don't think this is innocent at all.
Right.
And it's so innocent that it's positive almost 400. It's going to try really hard to get to 400.
It's really trying to go 400. Man, that's that innocent water. Okay,
so many
negative.
people are now we're back to negative 700.
Okay.
So many people are going to bottled water because we all know we need water. So this particular water is Safeway brand.
Oh, okay.
And it's
so
in
generic,
plastic. Yeah, generic water, cheaper water,
right.
Doesn't equal better.
Here we go.
Okay, so this is positive 230 and climbing.
Climbing. Okay, guys. By the way, if you guys have done any kind of research at all, you know that now the average bottle of water contains over 250,000 nanoparticles of water or nanoparticles of plastic. So they're now finding brains full of plastic. I mean, just a little more. Where we end up? Yeah. 250, 260. All right.
Yeah.
So negative. Let's go to
this guy is
Sam's
Club. Now,
okay,
Sam's Club, we can all go to Sam's Club and buy massive bottle or, big crates of this stuff. So again, cheaper is not better.
All right. Full of plastics.
Sam's Club is racing up there at 230, 40.
It'll move right on up.
Continuing to climb.
It'll move right up into the 300s, guys. It's amazing, guys. Plus full of particles. Okay, now let's go to or Aquafina? Were we negative?
We
Looking at my meter.
are
All right.
negative.
All
Yes.
right. I
Okay.
want to make sure we give every one of them a chance.
So
Right?
Aquafina is one of the top brands, probably the more expensive, but also
Right.
one of the better sellers,
Yes.
unless you're really looking for mass quantities, right?
Right. Right. I mean, yeah, it's
Aquafina
Pepsi.
was our choice. Not dogging anybody. Aquafina was our choice. If we went out, we bought bottled water, we bought Aquafina. That was the one we liked.
It's owned by Pepsi.
It's 340.
340, guys. By the way, Dasani, very, very much in the same lines. Guys, now Pepsi, of course, is bottled city waters. That's like Dallas and Denver and some other city waters. Oh, not to gross anybody out, but Denver recycles their sewage water now for drinking water. Okay, now let's look at tap water. Now listen, this tap water we brought in from our store in Woodland Park because it's chlorinated and such. We should have done some of our tap water here. It's still positive.
It is positive.
So here we are.
We're on a well here.
Yeah, we're on a well, so it's much, much better. But here we go. 400, where are we at? 490, 500, 510, 520, 530. I'm telling you guys, so they have to use so many chemicals to treat the water that it's absolutely incredible what goes on with your water. Now, listen, we're at the top of the water chain. I mean, we're in the top of the mountains. We're at 9,000 feet. Well, 8,700. Okay. So 9,000 feet. And so we have some of,
We get the good stuff
should
first.
be some of the best water there is. We're at 600. Now, everything dies at 900. Everything. I mean, including you. Okay. So 600 positive. That's this.
Where
absolutely,
everybody says, don't drink your tap water, don't drink your tap water.
Right.
Buy these bottled waters. Well, guess what? We're not
Now,
doing anything.
me going in and out of this bottle, it's already dropped down to 730, 740. So
Just
we've
going
lost
in and out
nearly
of these
100
liquids.
points just doing that. Okay, so now the reason why we wanted to show you that is because that's the antioxidant value. This is what happens when you drink this type of liquids, and I don't want to say water because they're liquids. You drink this type of liquids, it literally steals from the body. It robs the body of life-giving antioxidants. And we're an antioxidant making machine. We do the best we can to make antioxidants. That's what we do. We try to eat, of course, we all try to eat the best foods, fruits and vegetables, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, all have great antioxidants. But here's the thing. If your digestive tract isn't working, you're not getting any of those. And I'm telling you, if you're taking supplements and your digestive tract isn't working, guess what you're not getting? You're not getting supplements. Have you ever talked to anybody in the, sewage industry? I don't want to, gross anybody out, but listen, most pills and stuff go right through us. So, a good supplement is a liquid supplement. There's great supplements out there. I'm not saying anything bad, but I'm just telling you, if your body's not able to assimilate those, then it doesn't matter. They're just going right through you. You're just wasting money. Water, this type of water is so effective at hydration that it doesn't even make it through the stomach if you're doing small amounts. So those of you who own machines out there already, okay, you need to be drinking large amounts. I mean, this is perfect amount. This is a quart. Drink 32 ounces when you get up. Drink 32, at least 16 ounces at a time. If you're drinking a cup, it never even makes it into the digestive tract.
While you're talking about your digestive tract, we have a question that they're buying RO water and they're adding minerals.
Okay.
Well,
let's talk about that. It's a good time. Are you going to stir in some stuff?
I'm going to stir in
You probably want to go
some
around
drops.
front.
I don't.
You don't? Okay. All right. So let's just talk about that. And this is a great lead into some of those people who get those bottles that do create molecular hydrogen. So listen, guys, when you add back elements, they're not bioavailable. So God creates element or minerals in water. Man extracts it all out, and then we take extracted minerals, which are elements, and put them back into water. So we think we're doing good. Well, in a pH test, it might look really good. But what happens is the body doesn't assimilate those. So the beauty of doing what we do is this machine takes the water and runs it through an electrolysis process, and it breaks down those elements and makes them all bioavailable. Actually, tap water is already bioavailable. But so I've seen people with those nice water bottles and they go, oh, man, Wade, your machines are so expensive in comparison. I said, well, here, let me show you a little bit about those bottled waters or those water bottles. If you put your tap water in there, okay, guess what it does? It breaks down the molecular structure of everything in there. So it now makes all of the bad junk in there, okay? It all makes that bioavailable. So now it makes it 10 times as easy or 100 times easier for your body to assimilate those. Same thing when you're adding elements to your distilled water or reverse osmosis water, you're not getting the uptake of those vitamins into your body, those elements into your body because they're not bioavailable. Okay, so yeah, so read what they put on that in that. Okay, so Sam's Club. By the way, you see some colors there. Okay, green is neutral or 7 and above. Okay, anything yellow or orange is below 7, actually down 6, 5, 4s, and 3s. And then anything purple is up in the 9s and 10s or 9s, and blue is in the 8s. Okay, so what do you got?
Okay, so we've got purified water, reverse osmosis.
Right.
That's what they start with.
Right.
Then we have magnesium sulfate,
Okay.
potassium bicarbonate,
Yeah.
and potassium chloride.
Okay.
None of those grew on trees. None of those did God create to put into our body.
Bicarbonates is the reason why this makes
This
it
is
alkaline appearing. But remember
how
that positive
it was?
charge. That's right.
Yeah.
And remember that positive charge that's in your RO and in your distilled. See, that repels the body. Okay. It stays away from getting into the body. As a matter of fact, when water gets to a cell, if it has a positive charge, the cell doesn't want it. It's like, I'm already got enough junk in me.
Mm-hmm.
That negative charge, it attracts a positive charge. So when there is free radical damage in the body, when there is trash, when there is waste, okay, Kangen water takes that out of the body. It attracts that positive charge. So guess what? We use it for chelation. We use it for other things.
Mm-hmm.
If you have taken, okay, I won't say anything. If you've taken any of that, you guys know what I'm saying there, right? Okay, that is very positive in charge and it settles all over the body. And so this type of water, when you drink it, actually can go through the body and detox the whole process. But listen, you have to drink it. I have so many people, I love you guys, right? I have so many people who have their machines and they're not drinking.
And they're still dehydrated.
Right? It's like, wait, it's awesome. It looks good on my counter. By the way, it's sitting back here, right? Looks good on my counter. I'm like, how much water are you drinking? Oh, well, I had a couple glasses yesterday. I'm like, what? I'm like, you're investing in your health, but the way to invest in your health is to drink. Right.
And let me tell you something. We're going to answer this too.
Okay, good.
There is no good bottled water.
I haven't found one yet.
I would love to tell you, go get this one or that one or the expensive stuff, but there is no good bottled water. The bottled water that's good is the bottle that you fill BPA free or your glass bottle that you fill free out of your machine and take with you.
Right.
That's the good bottled water.
I'll tell you guys. And here's the reason why. Do the reports. The microplastics and the nanoparticles of plastic that come in each and every bottled water. I'm telling you, they're finding over a spoonful of plastics in each person's brain. They say that consuming the proper amount of water, you consume about a credit card of plastic a month.
Yeah. Not to mention the savings. Look, that's 18 years of savings.
Yes.
18 years of savings. And you know what, guys? We save in not just our health.
Right.
I clean my stovetop with with water.
So the machine creates different levels. In fact, we're going to show you that in just a second. Okay, so let's just look at this. Okay, so if you see out here, I got a little chart over here, right, that shows that acidic orange, that sort of thing. Anytime you drink a soda, it absolutely destroys your body, and you can't drink enough water. In fact, listen, I poured a pitcher full of our 9.5 water, so I'm going to try and do some additives here and see if we can make some changes. It can't. It's so bad. Now look at this. Try. Bam, that's our distilled. Well, we just add minerals back. So the distilled we can bring back, but it's got a positive charge of 400. So it steals. So that's it right there. That when you drink distilled water, it goes in and robs the body of the minerals right there on the spot. And that's living proof of it right there. Now, look at this LaCroix. You throw some in there, done. Absolutely destroys it. Now, our Sam's Clubs and all these waters are all sitting on the edge anyways, so they do neutralize, okay? But I'm just showing you guys, when you drink these type of drinks, it absolutely destroys your body so bad. As a matter of fact, let's just see what it does to a full glass here. You got one? Oh, I could
Go
do
ahead,
this.
use that one.
Yeah, okay. But just dump that in there, and it's going to sit there, and it destroyed that body. So that body that you've just done everything, you're eating the right fruits, eating the right vegetables, you're doing all the right things, okay? And you add a soda or something like these types of waters to your body,
sparkling
and you've
water
completely
is not
destroyed
your
your body.
Yeah.
So that's just a great example showing you what happens if you guys get away from water. I mean, water is so crucial to life. Absolutely crucial to life. So
remember
with
how
that,
I told you guys
okay.
that I clean my kitchen with this water? Well, I got a little demonstration to show you on why I clean and how I clean my kitchen with just water. So, of course, when you're cooking, there's always some kind of grease involved, whether it's animal grease, fat, whatever, or if
Oil's
you're
better,
baking, cooking something, whatever. So go for it.
So what we've done here, now you know that oil and water, okay, if you get an oily mess on your countertop or on your stove, what happens? If you put water to it, guess what happens? It separates out. It won't come together, right? So it just makes a bigger mess. And if you go to clean your stovetop and throw a little water on there, man, you've got now a big white mess. You've all seen it.
It's just a greasy, slimy mess.
Yeah, it's greasy, slimy mess. But when you utilize the type of water that the machine produces, it actually emulsifies the oil. Now, what does that mean, emulsify the oil? It means it takes the oil molecule, separates it out, surrounds it, and separates it away from each other. A great example of that, as we're getting ready to show you here, is we have some strawberries that we're cleaning with some 11.5 high alkaline water, and they are loaded with pesticides. And we're going to show you the proof of that, because what we're going to do is take the,
is in our 11.5.
Yep. And we're going to show.
I just took these out of the fridge this morning.
So they're cold.
So I recommend you always clean your produce before you bring it home and put it in your refrigerator. And there's your tap water.
I don't know if you guys can see that, but I'm telling you, the pesticides and herbicides that come off those strawberries, the taste difference is absolutely incredible. I mean, it is like going back to grandma's garden and getting water. I mean, getting strawberries right fresh from the vine. I'm telling you, it's just like going back to grandma's.
Okay, and so yes, we do take ordinary tap water, but again, we recommend
running
it through
so the machine. Yeah. So to start with, yes, we're using ordinary tap water. That's what that tap water is over there. In fact, where's my other tap water? Oh, here it is right here. Just to show you guys something. Okay, another something. Here's ordinary tap water. This is what we truly started with. Here's this one. You got a little.
Let me pour this tap water out.
Yeah, I'm going to show you the chemicals that are in this. This is crazy, guys. There you go, your tap water. So I'm going to show you something here. And what we're going to do is just show you the amount of chemicals that are in tap water. So these are tap waters. Gina just poured that. We put it in there. Of course, like I said, we're on a well here, so we don't have the chemicals that the city water does. Okay. I should have. Okay, and this one here's the other one poured, right? Mm-hmm. So listen, when I put my fingers in here, guys, okay, in just a few seconds, my body is going to sit here and absorb up the chemicals that are in that tap water. Also, when you run it through the device has a filter that's designed to pick up chlorine, chloramine, soda ash, lye, those sort of things, and help clean the water. Okay, now just to show you, okay, my body just absorbed up the chlorine. You see that, guys? My body just absorbed up the chlorine that was in that tap water that quickly. And that's how fast the body absorbs. So yes, the machine has a filter in it, but then we highly recommend pre-filtering. So we've got a little guy over here at Gizmo that we have created, worked with different filtration companies and such. And we come up with, this is a filter for underneath the sink that we use before our device. Now, why do I do that? Because this filter pulls up down to 0.02 microns. Now, what does that mean for us? Most people are like, 0.02, what does that mean? Okay, let me tell you what it means. Cysts, viruses, bacteria, DNA, RNA. Guys, this picks up all the stuff that we don't want, anthrax, all those sort of things. So we start by cleaning our water. This leaves all whole minerals behind. This is done through an electrostatic charge also. So see, the machine uses electricity and separates acidic minerals away from alkaline minerals. This uses a charge to take life out of the water. So meaning it takes living things like bacteria and such, and like anthrax and such. So this is the cleansing process that we highly recommend before any device. Doesn't have to be, because the company comes with a great filter. This is just an ultra filter. And so in our store and in our company, in our business, we highly recommend pre-filtering first, no matter what situation you're in. Because if you're in a city, they're adding all kinds of things. Or, I mean, there's some articles, guys, they're now dissolving bodies into water, and they're now putting that out. I'm from the age of Soylent Green. I'm not there. Right. So I'm a little bit of a water nerd these days. And so I ultra filter. And this is a under counter unit. We also have whole house systems that are huge. And that goes before a device. The device is totally different, totally on its own. Okay. And it's totally different than the filtration.
Takes out fluoride. Yes.
Yes. So, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Trace DNA. So here's a little bit of a list here, guys. Salmonella, Aspergillus, trace DNA, endotoxins, metals. The effective pH ranges, by the way, from 4.5 to 10. Chlorine, chloramine, all those sort of things. It also flows at like 8 gallons a minute. So you'll never even know it's there before you go into the device. What's the other thing you want to say? What?
We're gonna do Black Friday specials till Wednesday before Thanksgiving. So we can't change the price of the machines, but what we can do is, if you're ready to do this for your family, for your, a good Christmas gift, you guys, we are going to give some gifts along with the machine. Mm-hmm. And the gifts, they equal a value of up to $200 on some stuff. On the K8, which, get on myfreewater.com, look at the machines. They're not cheap.
Don't purchase there.
Don't purchase on there,
okay.
But call us.
Don't purchase there. Get a hold of us. Okay. You need to get a hold of us because we want to credit the MarkZ group, the MarkZ family. Yes. Okay. And if you go right online and purchase it, it doesn't do that. I have no way to know where you came from or anything. So, So when you go online, make sure we know that you're part of the MarkZ group. Also, that filter, that pre-filter, if you purchase your machine and the pre-filter at the same time, we give $250 off on the pre-filter. That pre-filter is $750, $749. So we give $249 off, so it's $500. Okay. Most of you are out of state, so there's no tax on that. There's shipping of $30. So
So our K8 model is the white model. It is the top of the line. Unfortunately, we did not bring machines with us today. It's the one I use on my counter every day. It is $6,500 roughly with tax. With tax and your shipping, it's roughly that.
I do want to talk to fluoride because fluoride's up there. Listen, guys, fluoride is a different kind of animal. See, fluoride is an alkaline mineral. So we have to look at what type of fluoride are you talking about? Because if it's fluorosilica acid that's added by a city municipality, the electrolysis process and such will separate that out of your water. If it's a natural occurring fluoride, and it's heavy, then we need to look at a separate filter just for fluoride. In our own location here, our well water, okay, we are heavy fluoride. So we have to use, just like that little blue one, with a fluoride filter, which is coconut shell. So we pick up the fluoride that way. It's slower moving. To do a whole house is a lot of, well, it takes a lot of media to do a whole house, but we do it by location. Okay, so is it added by your city or is it natural occurring? Because that's two different types of fluoride that they all consider fluoride. So that's a great question. And yes, we can handle that and we can help with that.
Yes. Yes.
And yes, we don't, no fluoride, no calcification of our pineal gland and, our gut gland. So with that, guys.
So call us.
Yeah.
719-687-8732. We can talk about the extra gifts that I'm going to give away.
Yeah, she's got something.
I've dropped this bomb.
She's got something
on
going on here. So, she's.
But I decided that this, everybody's doing Black Friday specials, so we are too. And so
I don't know what
she's
got
some
going on,
stuff away, guys. And
listen,
there you go.
By the way,
Kukla.
we are not at our store right now. We're at home.
Right.
Okay, so we won't be there for another hour and a half. So if you call, please leave a message. And as soon as we get there, we will start retrieving messages and or picking up calls. Okay. We have a retail store that opens up at noon Mountain Standard Time.
Right.
So that's 3 hours from now. And so we got to be there before noon. But we usually try and get there an hour earlier than that. We'll start calling people back. Gina will be checking. We'll be checking in. Okay. And getting back to you guys. If you're ready, I'm telling you, there's been no better time than right now. Your money has never been more valuable than it is today because each day we keep losing, right? And we keep watching that. I have many people who were on the fence. Now we have some who bought them last year, year before. Do you know that they saved over $1,000, $1,500 just in their money ability? Because of what our dollar was worth a year ago versus today. And I know that many of us are waiting on something to come, right? And but I'm telling you guys.
But I'm going to tell you what's your health worth and how long are you going to wait? We've all been waiting. We've been doing this. How long have we been on here now? We've all been. I don't even want to know most of the time, to be honest with you. But we've been waiting. And how long are you going to wait? How much further is your health going to deteriorate?
Right.
And we've seen distilled and RO. That is not your friend, guys.
Right.
It is not the way to go. I'm just telling you, it's not the way to go. And if that's really
and we did
where
that
your
for
heart
years
is,
too, by the way.
we did. I mean,
at
least invest in the pre-filter instead of your RO. I don't recommend just that, but worst case,
get something. That's right.
Get something started is what I would say.
That's right.
Any other questions?
Yep, we're free. Well, we're free. I know. I mean, we try to make it 30 minutes. I respect Mark and his time and all the things, and all of you guys also. We respect your time. We appreciate you, each and every one of you, for being here and listening to us and with us. Also, our website is myfreewater.com. Myfreewater.com. You can go there. If you go there, please again type in that you're from MarkZ so that we know where you're coming from. We get about 20,000 hits a month in our website, and so I want to make sure that we're always accrediting people to where it belongs.
And make sure that you put your name and your phone number and your correct email.
Yeah.
If you don't have those items in there, the system just kicks you back out. Yes. And we want to be able to send you some information and connect with you. And so make sure, talk to us.
All right. Very good. Well, with that, guys, thank you so much again, Mark, for having us here. Makes the best coffee in the world too, by the way, guys.
Yes. It's not good morning everywhere, but it's good morning to me.
That's right. Mark's got his cup up.
Yeah, he's not kidding. It does help pull more of the flavonoids or whatever it is out of the coffee. Definitely makes a flavor difference. Wade, Gina, I appreciate you guys. I won't see you till after Thanksgiving, so I hope it's a fantastic one.
Yes.
Happy Thanksgiving to all of you.
Yes, that's right. Happy Thanksgiving to all you guys. And thank you so much for having us.
And for the rest of you folks, I will see you tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern. It is Monday. Take care, guys.
All right.
Bye, guys.